Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Motion made by Christine, second by Hope. All those in favor? Approval of minutes from meeting number 5.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Christine. Is there a second to approve the minutes?
I'll second.
Motion made by Christine, second by Cindy. All those in favor? Financial reports and claims.
You received both items in your packet last week. The monthly financial statement is for the month of April 2013. It compares the general fund expenditures to the total amount of the total annual budget. The March portion of that budget, actual expenditures for the month and the year, and also the over and under are also listed. The line items are listed, are the ones used in preparing the budgets. So my recommendation is that you accept the monthly financial statement placed on file.
So moved.
Motion made by Peggy. Who second?
Cindy.
Second by Cindy. All those in favor?
Next, you have the listing of the batches of payrolls and claims issued since the last board meeting in May, and the claims that need to be approved for this meeting. The total amount of the claims is $1,683,472.46.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Tim, second by Cindy. All those in favor? Communications to the board. Okay, nothing. Unfinished or old business? Anything? Nothing? New business?
First item on the agenda for this evening is reduction in force. And as was explained and suggested last month, based on projected declining enrollment, projected revenue, and expenditures, and the school corporation's interest in operating an efficient educational system within its financial priorities, it remains necessary to reduce or eliminate the number of teacher positions currently in the school corporation. Originally, last month, I explained to you that 11 notices were sent to teachers who would be affected by this reduction in force. If there is good news, I would tell you that because of resignations, additional resignations and or retirements, we've been able to reduce that number to 5.25. So I am recommending to the board at this time the following reduction in force. Elementary art, 1 full-time position reduced by 1/4. Elementary music, 1 full-time position reduced by 1/4. Elementary physical education, 1 full-time position reduced by 1/4. Middle school physical education and health, 1 full-time position reduced to half. Middle school science, 1 full-time position eliminated. High school family and consumer science, 1 full-time position and program eliminated. High school physical education and health, half position reduced. High school science, 1 full-time position reduced to half. High school special education, 1 full-time position eliminated. Again, that brings the total full-time equivalent to 5.25. And I would be seeking a motion and a vote this evening.
Is there a motion to approve the reduction in force?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Peggy, second by Hope. All those in favor? Opposed? Fremont Elementary School 2013-14 Arts Partnership Grant recipient.
We received notification from the DECO Foundation that Fremont Elementary School has been awarded $1,500 for a 2013-14 Arts Partnership Grant, again from the DECO Foundation. Grant opportunities funded only those projects that most closely align with DECO's board's beliefs about healthy youth development through the arts. And Amy, Bertie, I'm going to assume you applied for this because I noticed the letter was CC'd to you. That was the only mention. So congratulations and thank you for applying for that. We need to vote to receive that donation, please.
Is there a motion to receive this grant?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? Motion made by Laura, second by Hope. All those in favor? Employment recommendations, resignations, retirements.
I'll just go through the list. If you have any questions, then you can ask when I finish the first list of actually the resignations and retirements. High school social studies teacher, Andrew Arndt. Varsity boys and girls golf coach, Andrew Arndt. JV boys basketball coach, Andrew Arndt. And high school student council sponsor, Andrew Arndt. Kindergarten teacher, Lori Sellers. 5th grade team leader, Dan Carroll. Elementary art teacher, Karen Holden. Elementary science fair coordinator, Arlene Adams. Middle school, high school PE health teacher, Scott LaPlace. Elementary instructional assistant, Betty Hendry. And middle school special education teacher, Rhonda Nisley. I would ask that we move separately on these tonight.
Is there a motion to approve the resignations and retirements?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Peggy, second by Cindy. All those in favor? Hiring.
Mr. Probst, high school athletic director, has recommended Katie Menard for the JV volleyball coaching position. Rand Inger, our transportation supervisor, has recommended Ken Hansen and Robert Kristen for 2 positions that were vacated due to retirement. Middle school head football coach, being recommended by Carol Hudson, Eric Huffnagel.
So moved. You need a motion?
Yes, a motion to approve.
Make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Hope, second by Peggy. All those in favor? Mediated settlement of severance retirement benefits. Looking for a motion and second to approve such.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made by Christine, second by Cindy. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Middle school sports NECC update.
Middle school, we've had a lot of changes over probably the last 6 to 7 years as Avila and Rome City became part of East Noble, and then East Noble is in a different conference than we are. Effective now with the 14-15 school year, Garrett is now being allowed to come back into the NECC. So the athletic directors for the middle school, along with our high school partners, have gotten together and been looking at a way to possibly dissolve the TCAC and the Land of Lakes and make it one conference, with there being an East and a West. Some talk has been like for football, neither conference has a playoff in football. But you could take the one that has the best record, which is what both of us are doing, and maybe even have a Saturday game to get a championship. We have, for the last 2 years, and it will continue, we're all concerned about our children traveling late at night, coming back from, example, Fremont being at Fairfield, and the same for them. For the last 2 years on a Saturday in January, we have had a 4-way shootout for girls 7th and 8th grade basketball. And it's been Angola and Fremont from the east, West Noble and Fairfield from the west. And we trade off on what direction we go. This year we will be going to Fairfield. They were all here at Fremont last year. So what you have in front of you is a meeting that we all had on May the 22nd kind of verbally agreeing that for the east, it would be the schools of Angola, Cherubusco, Eastside, Fremont, Garrett, and Hamilton. For the west would be Central Noble, Fairfield, Lakeland, Prairie Heights, West Noble, and Westview. Gives it 6 and 6, but as you read down further, Howe has also always been with the Land of Lakes, somebody we always compete with when they have enough. So they actually were one of the schools that was in the beginning part when they took these NECC middle school and junior highs and split them into the 2 divisions. So we are going to keep them as part of the NECC middle school junior high program, knowing that they will compete with us as best as they can. Was supposed to have a meeting this morning so I could bring you more information, but with everybody splitting for the summer, we have rescheduled that for the 6th of August when we will all be getting together again with our 14-15 schedule, setting down and working it out so that we can start this in the 14-15 school year.
So you don't need any board action on that?
No, I just wanted to bring you up to date. Not sure what our title will be. We haven't decided about that.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Head Start update.
It's been a challenging year. I'm glad it's over with. I think most of our staff are too. It's the last one. We've learned a lot this year and used what we've learned to make plans and move on for next year. Of course, with the reduction in our funding, we're going to be making several changes, and I'll bring back that next month when I ask you to approve our grant application for next school year. It's due August 1st, so I'll be back with that. In my report to you, I did have outcomes for this year, some things that I'm very proud of. We enrolled a total of 202 children, and we had 25 of them drop out of the year. So we maintained our funding at 100, or our enrollment at 187 most of the time, except at the end of the year. We had 160 children who were one-year students who will be moving on to kindergarten. We had 121 girls and 81 boys, so that was a little different. And we had 7 boys that had behavior coaches. We had 155 attendance referrals, and that means that the children either missed 4 days in a row or they missed at least 50% of the month. So that was a lot. But when I went back and reviewed, we had a lot of flu, illness, and head lice issues this year. Maybe everybody is now. But yeah, our health outcomes were outstanding again. We're like 97 to 99% of our physicals, dentals, and vision exams. And also 14 children received glasses this year. In our education, we're required to do 2 home visits and 2 parent-teacher conferences every year for every student. We had a good attendance on those, except for the very last parent-teacher conference. It wasn't quite as well as I wished, but we did do them. And then on our assessment scores and our domain scores and our school readiness, we had growth in all areas, with 99% of the children knowing their first and 95% of them knowing their last names by the end of the school year. 91 knew their age. I know it sounds like a strange thing to assess, but when they're 3, 4, 5 years old, for them to know that, that's important, because most of them will tell you that they're older than what they really are. So we were happy with knowing the ABCs, the upper and the lowercase, and identifying colors and shapes and everything. I think they did quite well this year, and we showed a good amount of growth in every area, which is always exciting. I have a letter for Sherry too. She gave me some earlier, but this is our refunding. We just finally received it the other day, that we can apply for $1,117,018 for next year, and I'll be reducing our enrollment to 167 instead of 187, which I've already asked for the waiver and they've granted it. Anybody have any questions?
Does the state require that they attend a certain number of days
The state, no. The federal government, because it's all federal money, we have to attend 128 days. We had that waived this last year because of the sequestration. They waived 8 days for us, and we only attended 120. But this next year, it was the regional's office recommendation that we reduce our enrollment rather than reduce our number of days. So that's what we're going on the recommendation.
What about some of your kids that have like excessive absences?
We have a policy in place that if they miss a lot of days, we contact the parents. After 4 days, the teacher contacts the parents to see why they've missed. If they miss 50% of the month, usually somebody from our office contacts them, or a family service worker will contact to see and try to develop a plan to get them attending more regular. If they don't comply with that, then we do drop them out of the program and move on to enroll someone else. So we try to give them every chance we can to get them to have their child attend.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Comments and suggestions from the audience? George Heffley.
I think I'll decline at this time.
Okay. Angie, is it Skemahorn? Oh, that's it. I'm not missing anyone, right?
No, all the papers are there.
I have a Oh, Amy, okay.
It's kind of late now. I just am sad and disappointed that I work super hard beyond what full-time is, and now to be a 3/4 time, I will have to give up a lot of my after-school programs. Circle the State, Angola doesn't offer Circle the State 4th grade. I'm the only school in this area that offers it at 4th grade. That will no longer be offered by, I can't do it. There's just a lot of things that I won't be able to do anymore that is breaking my heart for the kids of Fremont. And I just wish there would have been another way to work that, considering I don't get paid very much already. So I'm just really sad. And I just got that grant from DECO for the 4th grade final program, worth $1,500. And I just feel like the value I add to the corporation is worth way more than my salary. And so I'm just disappointed. And I'll still work as hard as I can for these kids, but my heart is broken.
Nancy?
Pass.
Okay. Announcements? None? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Christine, second by Hope. All those in favor? Meeting is adjourned.
Shame on all of you guys.
Yeah, you guys are leaving our school.
Paperwork?
when she said.